Hi everybody, it's Mr. Berkey. Today's Thursday, sorry. We're going to be going through and we're going to be doing a pre-assessment before our exit ticket for tomorrow, okay? So for reading today, I'm just going to be going through and talking about how I want you to kind of do the assessment tomorrow, and tomorrow there won't be a video. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Google form. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I am actually going to answer the first question for you. What I am also going to do, right now I don't have a piece of paper and a pencil, so I'm actually going to go and grab them. Pause the video if you need to while I go grab a piece of paper and a pencil. Okay, I'm back. I'm ready to go. I have my piece of paper, I have my pencil. Here we go. I am actually using some sticky notes and a pen. So what I want you to do tomorrow for your exit ticket over main idea, there's going to be different passages to read. You will not be able to highlight them on a Google form, but I think it's going to be the easiest way for us to do this, just because I want you to be able to answer some multiple choice questions to get us ready for our assessment over the entire summer of learning, okay? So have your piece of paper, have your pen ready or pencil, and then I'm going to read this part out loud, and I'm going to write things down that I think are important that help me understand what the main idea is. Because right here it says, read and take notes about what the main idea is, okay? So I'm going to be taking notes. The problem with plastics is that they do not easily degrade. Okay, so that tells me what I'm reading about. I know I'm going to be reading about plastics and how they don't easily degrade. So I'm going to say plastics, but then I'm going to keep reading because I'm a little bit confused about what degrade means, okay? They may break down, but only into smaller pieces. The smaller those pieces get, the more places they can go. Okay, so I'm going to write plastics may break down, but only into smaller pieces. I am just going to show you, I put quotation marks around it because it is a direct quote right here. They may break down, but only into smaller pieces, okay? I'm not sure if that tells me what the main idea is, though. I know plastics can break down and that it's hard for them to degrade. It's hard for them to go away. So I'm going to keep reading. Many pieces wind up at sea. Tiny bits. Mr. Berkey is not doing great with reading today. Tiny bits of plastic float throughout the world's oceans. They wash up on remote islands. They collect and sea ice thousands of kilometers from the nearest city. They even meld with rock, creating a whole new material. Some scientists have proposed calling it, I'm going to sound it out with this helpful guide, plastigloerate. Exactly, I'm not sure. I don't really read anything in this paragraph that tells me anything. I'm reading though, and it sounds like plastic can get everywhere. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? I'm going to keep reading. Exactly how much plastic is out there remains a mystery. Scientists are hard at work trying to find out. So far, though, experts haven't found as much plastic floating in the oceans as they expected. All that missing plastic is worrisome, because the smaller a plastic bit becomes, the more likely it will make its way into a living thing, whether a tiny plankton or an enormous whale, and that may spell real trouble. Is plastic being everywhere a really good thing or a really bad thing? I see the word worrisome and I see the word trouble. So I'm going to write down worrisome and trouble because those words tell me that plastic being everywhere is a bad thing. It can hurt the animals that it's inside. It can kill those animals. And I'm making these inferences based on the reading, and that helps me come up with my main idea. Just from reading this, I know that plastics are not a good thing for the environment and that they're hurting animals. So I'm going to read down here and pick the best possible answer, okay? We're going to use process of elimination today and just go through these. What is the main idea of the passage? Again, I'm just going to show you my sticky note. The notes are not in complete sentences. I wrote down worrisome, I wrote down trouble, and then I wrote down bad. Okay? Just write down things that help you understand what the main idea is. Okay? Just like I did. Number 1, what is the main idea of the passage? The main idea is plastic. What did we read about? We read about plastic, but was it just about plastic in general? Yes or no? No, we read about how plastic is a bad thing. We didn't just read about plastic, so we're eliminating this. The main idea is how plastics can hurt the world. So we read about how they're a bad thing and how they can hurt animals. So I'm going to leave this option in. This one is gone. Goodbye option. Next one, number 3. The main idea is the different colors of plastic. Did it talk about different colors of plastic at all? No. So we're going to eliminate this idea. The main idea is scientists. There were scientists in here. But was that the main idea? No. So the best possible option is number 2. Does it make sense how I use process of elimination? You can also write down A, B, C, and D on your sticky note, just like this, and then you can cross them off. Goodbye A, goodbye C, goodbye D. And if you don't have a sticky note, you can just do this on paper. My 3rd graders did this a lot when they were doing NWEA testing. I just want to show you some different skills to use for our post-assessment next week. Number 2, what text evidence helps support your answer? I want to go over number 2 because you will have to scroll up and reread to find text evidence. Okay, really quickly, I put in some tricky questions on this one. I need to see how much time I have left. Okay. I put in some extra super secret tricky ones. Whenever I ask for text evidence, the only answers that are correct are answers with quotation marks because that's how we use text evidence. So I can eliminate number 1 right away. This answer is wrong because there's no text evidence. This answer is also wrong because there's no text evidence. Let's read these 2. These 2 are our last 2. I should not have clicked there, so ignore that. In paragraph 2, it says, they wash up on my islands. Does that support why plastics can hurt the world? Not really, no. In paragraph 3, it says, all that missing plastic is worrisome, because worrisome was one of the words I wrote down. Because the smaller a plastic bit becomes, the more likely it will make its way into a living thing, whether a tiny plankton or an enormous whale. That's showing me that these plastics can hurt animals, which shows us that they can hurt the world. Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense. The next 2 questions are just reading this graph and answering them. And then you're going to read about Simone Biles a little bit, and then you're going to read about needing sleep, okay? Go through the same process. Have a piece of paper out, write down some direct quotes that help you understand what the main idea is, and please, 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 remember, we learned about main idea this week. I had a couple people write down what the theme was yesterday. That's a little bit scary for me. Please take your time with this, and good luck. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.